A British and a German warship anchored side by side on a day of remembrance for the greatest naval battle of the Great War. In the Orkney capital Kirkwall, the German president joined the Prime Minister, the Princess Royal and Scotland's First Minister at a service of commemoration in St Magnus Cathedral. It was from the vast sheltered anchorage of Scapa Flow in Orkney that the Royal Navy's Grand Fleet set sail to meet the German High Seas Fleet. To the strains of the naval hymn, the British and German flags were laid on the altar, watched by a congregation that included descendants of those who fought in the battle.
Across the North Sea steamed the British fleet.
Jutland was the only time in history two fleets of massive dreadnought battleships met, the most powerful weapons of their age. Both sides contrived to claim a victory. The Germans sank more ships, but never again ventured their fleet in combat. The British maintained command of the sea and an economic blockade of Germany.
It is surprising what little noise there is inside a turret when the guns fire. Just a heavy thud, the whole place shakes and the gun recoils. Then it runs out again to its firing position. The next shell and charge come up from the handling room and are rammed home, and the gun is ready to fire again.
Jolyon Robinson's father was a junior midshipman on HMS Temeraire and wrote an account of the battle. His son was at today's service.
I'll be thinking about my father and the fact that he did survive. I'll also be thinking about his elder brother, who lost his life in the Battle of the Somme, and another brother who was severely wounded.
Jolyon's father was lucky.
As there was a lull, I climbed onto the roof of the turret, and it was then I saw a terrible sight. We passed on our port side all that was left of the battlecruiser Invincible, her bows and stern sticking out of the water, broken in half, and her name clearly to be seen on her stern.
John Nichol died on board Invincible, along with all but 6 of his shipmates, leaving behind a widow and 8 children. 3 of his grandchildren were in Orkney today.
He was a member of the Royal Naval Reserve for 21 years. He joined at 18. His primary trade was a fisherman, and he unfortunately was lost in the battle at the age of 39.
Do you think somehow the Navy's contribution in the First World War has been forgotten?
I think so. They were sort of lost and forgotten. But I'm so glad that this has come up, because it's a privilege to be here.